Before we go and claim our prize, let's check out this Mayan calendar.
Here it is.
Who did it? It killed Zacharias.
Calm yourself now, Sir Charles. You've had a shock. Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Phew. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I'm a simple consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now, don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector.
Let's step back a second. What was Lestrade trying to accuse Sherlock of? Anyway.
What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself.
Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside. You're still here?
Of course.
The surface is damaged. Traces of metal on stone. The iron mounting rod is broken. Pieces from the pedestal. A piece of the statue's mounting rod. Traces of metal on stone. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal.
How odd. And we still have detective vision. Oh, there we go.
Scratches on the stone.
So, it looks like someone's taken a statue off and dragged it around here. I thought we would have had more scratch marks though.
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall.
Okay, we can't enter the clubhouse just yet.
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, tell me who was the murderer.
And what about the statue?
I've no idea yet. I imagine the thief must have taken it somehow.
Right, so they were thieves, and they were very well equipped?
Yes, must have been. Then there's also Sir Charles's version, but...
Please go on.
He said this morning that he was alone at his desk when he heard a shout. He went outside and saw Greystoke lying on the ground and... Believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green that night but the statue itself running away.
You mean that the statue might have killed the victim? Interesting.
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like your version, then.
What did the police say? Do you know anything?
I'll tell you later. Let's go and investigate the body. Well, he was definitely killed with a spear.
This spear came from the statue on the pedestal.
How are we supposed to open this thing? This is really strange. Oh, okay.
Money was left inside the wallet. The case is scratched and dented. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. This watch is valuable and old. It's been through a great deal. Zacharias' folder with some documents. These drawings represent the Mayan symbols. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them. All valuables were left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed.
So where did these leaves come from? Because they were not here yesterday.
If I believe Lestrade, this Mayan calendar was the reason behind the murder. Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and well, I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tekun Uman running away.
He seems to be an owner of a bowling club, so I'm sure he will be quite socially active. I mean, he does have to entertain guests. Yeah, and he probably is politically active as well.
You saw the statue running?
It was dark, but yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sound as it did so. And can't you see, the pedestal is now empty.
Did you know the victim?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke. He is... oh, was a club member, and an excellent bowler.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh, I don't know.
Sir Charles, where did the Mayan calendar come from?
It was donated anonymously. We received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking that it be awarded to the winner.
Oh, that's quite strange.
Is the calendar valuable?
Not really. It has historical value, of course, but to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it isn't worth very much.
In the right hands, it could be worth a lot to someone.
May I go in the clubhouse?
It's members only. I cannot authorize anyone unless that person has a written warrant from the police.
So this guy was here for some unknown reason. The leaves were placed at some point between the moment we left until his death. We have a statue that's killed a man and disappeared, and a Mayan calendar which was donated anonymously. Wow. And asked to be given as a prize. So let's set up a train of events. So if these leaves were dry, then they would have made a noise when he stepped on them, which would have alerted this statue to throw a spear, even though I'm sure that was in his line of sight, which would have hit Zacharias. Nice. And Sir Charles emerged from the club, and the statue gets down and runs away.
It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tikkun Uman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.
So at some point the statue was taken down. I'm guessing that was a man painted up and was very patient. Maybe if we can find that statue, but I doubt we will at the moment.
Well, Holmes, your conclusions as my consultant?
My conclusions are approximate to Sir Charles's testimony.
Oh dear, you think the statue did it?
Everything points to the fact that the spear was thrown from the pedestal, and Mr. Greystoke appeared not to notice the killer.
Indeed. The journalists will be ecstatic about your version.
I would like to examine the victim and take a look at his belongings.
Oh, you've amused me at least, Mr. Holmes. Very well. I'll grant you authorization for the examination at Scotland Yard, but nothing more.
Nothing more for now. I'm sure we will uncover something. Right, let's head there and we will have a look at our evidence along the way. I'm sure if this statue was torn away, it would have made some noise.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Watson. Lestrade already has the victim's body in the autopsy room.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes. I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
Oh, okay, I thought
Please, sir, release my son.
Who said that? Hi there.
Good day to you, Mr. Holmes.
It seems like everything has been moved since we left the club.
The Mayan calendar. Here's a chance to have a closer look. Interesting. What are the symbols here? I'll need to redraw them. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. An ordinary pencil.
Another ordinary pencil? Wasn't there one in the last game?
Money was left inside the wallet. Oh, Zacharias had already translated some symbols. I could use this dictionary to translate the calendar's glyphs. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message.
This seems very familiar. Not this puzzle itself, but these symbols. I want to say Broken Sword 2. I think it was Broken Sword 2 where I remember seeing something very similar to this. Anyway, that's a game for another time. Let's try and solve this puzzle. We need to match up these symbols to the symbols on these pages, and we also have different words or phrases next to them. So not only do we need to find and match these up, we also need to choose the correct word or phrase. So the first one, let's see. Here we go. Now, I could just wing it, but I have the guide in front of me to tell me which word belongs with which icon. But I may as well just go straight for the correct answers. Sorry, I was momentarily distracted by a spider. At the end, if you've got the wrong phrase, it will tell you, well, Sherlock will tell you that there is incorrect answers on here. So let's find number 2. Which is to be. Anyone. I mean, you could potentially make a sentence out of what's to come. Here we go. To disturb. Cursed to be anyone to disturb. I'm not sure how you meant to make something out of this so far. Sacreds. Oh, here we go. It's another one just here. Only. Here we go. Temple. To meet death. Risen. And the last 2. Have mercy, and one more to go. Chosen. Cursed to be anyone to disturb sacred temple to meet death. Risen statue only, chosen to have mercy. Okay. This should be the correct. I'm sure Sherlock will be able to explain it better than I can, but yeah, he's meant to somehow muddle through this.
Cursed will be anyone who disturbs the sacred temple. They will meet their death by the risen statue. Only the chosen will have mercy. It's not only a calendar, it's a curse. Zacharias Greystoke, a member of the club, was killed as the curse decreed.
Aha, we have a deduction up there, but I will wait. Firstly, let's go to the morgue. I'm sure Watson slipped down here while we were in the evidence room. No, he's still waiting upstairs. Yeah, that looks like a spear wound, alright.
This is where the spear entered the body. The murderer aimed for the heart. These scars are old.
Red eye. It looks like a serious infection.
It was a powerful throw. The spear pierced right through the body. The weapon must have been thrown by a strong and skilled person.
It's possible that the link between Zacharias and the curse is at the archaeological club. I'll need a search warrant.
The coroner mentions in his report some specific cardiac and digestive system damage. Traces of alcohol were found in the stomach. Apparently Zacharias had been drinking before his death. We'll need to get a search warrant to investigate the club.
I guess we should go and see Lestrade.
Aren't you supposed to be investigating those cases of yours instead of bothering me?
Good day to you too, Inspector. I have a small favor to ask of you, a search warrant to investigate the murder at the club.
No, no, and no.
Why, and why? Well, I hope that it's wine. If it's wine, then he has a hangover, most likely. Wait. Well, I guess Sherlock knows Lestrade better than I do. Oh, okay.
Since I'm without the warrant, I should find something else to do. By the way, do you know if Sir Robin is currently in town?
I have no idea. And why on earth should you even think that I might know that?
Well, I believe I may have solved a case about, let's say, a salacious inspector.
No, it's not what you think. Nothing dishonourable happened. Go on then. Take your warrant.
So he refused to give you the search warrant?
Oh no, I've got it. I won't need you for a while now, Watson. I'll see you later.
I'm curious to know how you obtained this warrant.
Go and relax, Watson. Yes, we can actually enter and leave Scotland Yard. I would go straight back to the club, but there's one thing that I need to do first. Well, I don't need to do it, but we have a newspaper report. Okay, let's go back to the club.